Good morning, good evening, good night. My name is Tracy McCoy,
I'm Portia McCoy.
and we are the Real McCoys. No introduction needed. What should we start off at, Portia?
Well, first of all, let me tell y'all, we are still trying to sell our home.
Oh, Lord.
And the saga continues. Like, we've never experienced something where we're doing a deal with someone who actually claims to want what we're selling. And we have a good deal, okay? They're getting a great deal.
A great
Yet,
deal.
they are making it very difficult for us to actually get through this closing process. So, yesterday, you want to tell them how yesterday
Yeah,
went?
sure. Monday, was the 24th? Monday the 24th. We was waiting for them to close on the deal. It's just that it's not much to say. We waited for them to close on the deal. And at the end of the day, we found out that they didn't close. They haven't reached out to any of our legal team.
Well, before that, remember, we had given them we did the painting, right? So y'all knew about that. We did a painting. They got a new closing date of Monday at 1 p.m.
Right.
It came and went.
Yep. And once 1 p.m. came, our lawyer at the end of that business day was supposed to send out a TO, time of essence document. That document is to tell the buyer that their time to close is short. And obviously, they have 10 days once the time of essence is sent out to their lawyer. So that will happen Monday. And to me, truthfully, it was just a waste of day Monday, though. Like, they didn't respond. And these people, they just being ignorant, spiteful for no particular reason at all. Like, all we trying to do is sell them the house. And at first, when we first met this young lady, we thought she was a nice lady. We was like, oh, okay, then yeah.
Yep.
We're going to sell the property, though, because, she seemed like she's about her business. And truthfully speaking, I believe it's the realtor that's backing this bad behavior. It's unethical. She's giving narcissist behavior. Be honest with you, and I just don't like I've never been in a transaction like this in my life, and I've been in thousands of transactions, and I just never been in a transaction with somebody just being spiteful on something that they really want. It's not like we're not trying to sell you the property. Like, they had so many demands from us, though. And mind you, we put the property as is. But us being the real McCoys that we are, though, we was like, hey, listen, we will give you on your appraisal list what you asked for. Because you're not going to get the money taken off. Because that's what they was trying to do in the long
And
run.
not the appraisal list, but the inspection
Right,
that they did.
Right.
There were some things they found. We addressed the things that had to do with electrical and foundation. Or not even foundation.
Safety.
But, safety. But there's another word I can't think of right now.
Yeah.
But either way it goes, we did what we should have done as sellers to make sure that we were selling a safe home. But, I mean, you give them a little bit and they want to take a mile. So he just talked about Monday and the fact that they had a deadline, right?
Yes.
The next deadline was technically Tuesday because that was the day they said they wanted to be the closing day, right?
Right.
But based on how they acted on Monday and they were completely silent, we filed time of essence first thing on Tuesday morning because they were wasting our time at this point.
Yes.
Now, mind you, the day before, one of our tenants who used to live in the building calls us and she was like, yeah, I got a call from one of the tenants in the building asking me if I wanted to move into her apartment. And I'm like, well, why would she be calling you? But I already know we already know because the tenant on the third floor actually already confirmed it for us. The seller is working behind the scenes to get this tenant out of the apartment before closing. And so basically she is purposely delaying our closing just so she could try to finesse what's happening in the building. Now, mind you, this person's under a lease. Yep. So how are you going to try to kick out somebody who's under a lease? And I know why she's doing it. She wants to foreclosing because maybe the legal ramifications for her is different as a buyer than it is as a current owner, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not our problem.
No.
Because when you did the contract at the very beginning, you never said, hey, I want to get rid of apartment 3.
Right.
I want that apartment to be empty, delivered empty.
And we would have done it.
it was only apartment 1 that wanted to be delivered empty, right?
Yes, and we oblige.
Right, and we, worked that out with the tenant, and now, like, you're calling this tenant via the other tenant trying to get her to move in so she could take over a lease. Like, it's absolutely crazy. It's unethical. And I think at this point, we don't even want to sell the house to them. So,
be honest with you, we don't. We don't want to sell the house at all.
Exactly. So we have given them their 10-day time of essence, which sucks because it's like, why does it have to be 10 days? That's way too long.
Yeah.
However, it is 10 calendar days, not 10 business days, so it makes it a little bit better. So I think we have until 10 days from yesterday.
We have until next week, Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So we're going to be keeping y'all in the loop because we want to make sure y'all understand what we're going through. Because, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, we had this week planned out. Like, it's spring break. We were like, okay, once we close.
Right. Our daughter's she's on spring break now.
Yeah. We had planned on, like, we're going to go take a little road trip or do something local and, kind of fun. And now, like, we're kind of just stuck here because we are trying to
navigate this process.
Navigate the process, but also make sure we keep an eye on our property because these people are crazy.
For no reason. That's what I'm saying. No reason. I think one of the reasons those Porsches because why she's delaying because she want us to pay her deposit back to her. And I believe she don't want to pay the deposit to the old tenant.
Yeah, also that apartment came fully furnished, right? So the buyer doesn't want the furniture.
Oh, Lord.
And she knew we wanted it back. But we only wanted it back once the person's lease was up. We weren't trying to, like, come in here and take all the furniture now or kick her out of the apartment.
No.
And so now the buyer's not only trying to get us to do her dirty work, but she wants us, she is trying to get us to do her dirty work, which means kicking out the third floor tenant and taking all the furniture out. Because what she wants to do is make sure she gets that apartment and not to spend any money. She don't want to have to spend money to get the girl out or have any legal issues. But the funny thing is now, she didn't expose herself. Mm-hmm. So the two of them going to have real fun when it comes to this actual what happens next. Because we're not getting involved. It's not part of our contract.
Nope.
We have no obligation to do so.
Nope. At all. And it's funny, man, but that we even have to go this route. And we have to go this far to even express ourselves like this, because the buyer, like I said, actually we thought she was a good person, and I'm not saying she's a bad person, but during this transaction, she's a headache, real headache.
Right. Well, let's say one thing we're grateful for. Right. That's good. That's good karma, good spirit. The one thing we're grateful for today, we got confirmation that this DCA bill, which is one of it's a local, I guess you would say a state organization that basically makes sure or like does your inspections and things like that. And so we found out today, which we already knew, but got the confirmation that the bill for DCA does not belong to us.
Right.
Now that's the one thing they were trying to hold over our head was,
and what's a DCA?
Department of Community Affairs, and under that is the Housing Bureau of something. And so basically there are some bills that a previous owner never paid that has nothing to do with us.
Nothing.
And we knew that, but they were trying to get us to pay for it. And so
$2,000.
Exactly. So I am grateful for the fact that today we got that confirmation that it's not ours, that we already knew, but in writing. So that's another thing they're trying to hold over our head, like, well, y'all haven't figured out the DCA, so you're not ready to close. We're ready to close, ma'am. We're ready.
We've been ready to close. We've been ready to close since February the 14th, okay? Be honest with you. You know, and it's just sad that it's like 4 extra weeks for what?
Yeah, it's been more than 4 weeks. Could have put February 10th.
Right, February 10th, right. So it's going on 6 weeks right now that we have not closed on the property, on our property, though. And to be honest with you, though, if we was to delist the property and if there was a breach of contract, I would definitely relist the property and sell it at a higher value.
Yeah. Well, because now property values have gone up. It's summertime coming, more buyers entering the market. It's tax return time, so people have more cash in hand. So it's it's a good time to sell a house. We started in the winter, and we should have been done before the winter was even over. But now it's no longer winter. We're in the spring. So
We're in spring, like literally spring. Like we had Christmas decorations up when we had this house. Okay,
snow on the ground.
it was snow. Okay, y'all, like come work with us, please. If you have any comments, please write the comments in the comment section, and we will definitely let you know how we feel or how you can navigate this process of a closer that's being disgruntled for whatever reason, though. Because let me tell you something, we got a story to tell.
And it's continued to be written, so we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah.
But thank y'all.
And then also, the lady said on a text message from my realtor, we could have closed today, but since y'all gave us the time of essence letter, we decided to wait until the 1st of April to close. Like who you think you talking to? Like, do you want the property or not?
Yeah.
And why are you waiting?
Right, and I recall when I was there with them one time, they was like, "Oh, we need to hurry from closing this property because I have another property I need to get under contract, and I can't get under contract with that one until I have this one closed."
Look, I know
Use a lie.
I know we're going off script though, but this realtor, I don't know. She's the worst. She's the worst. I mean, I don't care if she's a buyer or seller of a contract. Of a house though. Like what she doing makes no sense. You want to come in, get the house under contract, do your inspections, do your appraisal, and sell the house. It shouldn't take no more than 4 to 6 weeks to do this.
If you're about your business.
If you're about your business, though, it should not take, obviously, 3 months. Going on 4 months to sell a house. It's just pitiful.
Yeah.
That this realtor does not know how to close.
But you keep want to put on the realtor. The girl is a problem too.
They both are.
The buyer is a problem. The more I interact with her, the worse she becomes. When we first met her, she was so nice, and after a few times of hanging out, walking her through. Yeah, no.
I believe the buyer. I believe the realtor. I believe the realtor navigating this process though, because I believe the buyer. She may have one property, but I don't think she has multiple properties, so she may not be that experienced. But I think the girl's definitely putting a bug in her head though, bug in her ear though, and it's just pitiful that we even got to go through this though. But y'all, listen, y'all. One thing you gotta learn is when you're dealing with this real estate, know who your team is. Know who your team, and if you got a gut feeling, it's something that's not right. Always stick with your gut and listen to your gut.
Right, and it's okay to walk away from a buyer. It really is okay. Or any deal, because there's always another opportunity.
Right.
And things happen for a reason, so you have to believe in that.
Believe in yourself, people. Believe in yourself. Let me tell you something. If we'd have walked away from this property when we first
from this buyer,
we would have waited maybe a couple weeks. And we would have relisted the property, though, because you got to go through a process to delist the property and then to relist the property.
Yeah.
So now we would have got maybe $50,000 more for the property.
Well, here's the thing. We were being considerate of the tenants. That was the real problem.
Yeah.
We didn't want to keep hosting open houses, having them to open a house to do, more people come in and out. So we were trying to work it out with this buyer just so that we wouldn't have to have our tenants be inconvenienced even more. But cut to right now, like they have been super inconvenienced anyway. So we should have just been inconvenienced in the beginning, and it'd probably be better off right now.
Yeah, you look at it like that, because we, like I said, we caring people, we compassionate people though. Even though we landlords and investors, we're not the Grinch, okay? We don't want to impose on your lifestyle while you're home 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You got people walking in your property. No, that's your private time. We totally get it though. Like one tenant, we gave her a bottle of wine, just for being patient with us though. Then another tenant, we gave her a bottle of tequila. We are good people though. We're charming. We're thoughtful. We're compassionate. And obviously, it's working out the way it's supposed to work out, y'all. So hey, anything else?
That's all I got. We'll see what happens next. Like it's crazy.
We should happen tomorrow, okay? Ain't that
it's
far away.
crazy.
We should happen tomorrow.
Day by day, y'all. It's like nobody.
Yes. All right, y'all.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below. We're going to keep taking you along this journey of selling our first home.
Thank you. Peace.